Hello everyone, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to be talking about adverbs of place. Adverbs of place tells us about an aspect of location associated with the action of a verb. It is specifying the direction, the distance, the movement or position involved in the action. Adverbs of place always answer the question where. Where. Because adverbs of place are specific to actions of verbs, they cannot be used to modify adverbs or adjectives, with one exception, which we will see. Place usually answer the question where. Where did the action happen, or where does the action happen? We first look at where such adverbs are used in a sentence, then we examine the different types of adverb of place that we have. What is the position of adverb of place? Adverbs of place are generally placed. They appear immediately after the main verb in a sentence if it is intransitive. I'm very sure by now we know the difference between intransitive and transitive verb. Intransitive verb means they do not require object, while transitive verbs means they require object. So when we have adverb of place, for example, we were walking north, that sentence is intransitive verb, so the adverb follows the verb. Do you understand? He kicked the ball into the field. Because the verb kicked here is transitive, the adverb follows the object, which is the ball. He kicked what? The ball. To where? Into the field. You cannot say he kicked into the field the ball. No, it's not so. It's not so. It doesn't sound really good. My friend is moving far away. That's an intransitive verb. The wind keeps scattering sand everywhere. That's an adverb that follows the object. Let's also talk about adverbial prepositional phrases. Adverbial prepositional phrases can also be placed at the beginning of the sentence. Doing so adds a large amount of emphasis to the location they describe. However, the resulting sentences are more likely to be found in literary writing. So for our day-to-day writing, our conversation, you may avoid this kind of word, this kind of expression, but it is possible for you to find it in any of your written text. In this house, we have lived our entire lives. It kind of sounds odd. Instead, we say, we have lived our entire house in this place. Outside the office, I could hear my parent talking to the principal. Across the middle, I spied a beautiful woman. Adverbs ending in word or words such as homeward, eastward, onward can appear at or near the beginning of a sentence to put emphasis on their description as well. Again, remember that this actually creates a more literary style, especially when you are writing literary or a speech. It's not so good for what? For our conversation in everyday situation. Onward we march, hoping to arrive before sunset. That doesn't sound like something you are going to hear somebody say tomorrow. Ever upward the mighty redwood trees grow. The only adverb of place that are very commonly used at the beginning of sentences are the adverbs here and there. So please take note. We've already established that most adverbs of place appear at the end of what? Of the sentence, after the word, appear at the end of the word of the sentence, but the only one that is permitted to appear at the beginning is what? Here and there. And like we've already established, we use it to still add what? Emphasis to the location. Here is the book I was telling you about. There is the rest of the team. Now that we've seen where in a sentence the adverb of place can go, let's talk about the various types of adverbs of place that we have. The first one is adverbs of direction. Many adverbs of place indicate specific direction of movement to where exactly the direction up. They include up, down, across, north, south, east, west. Here are a few sentence examples. The house is situated north of the city. Where is the house situated? North of the city. All these things are very important in the English language, and especially if you are a student preparing for any English related exam, you should understand that you can actually use your knowledge of your grammar to grasp comprehension passages. Exactly, comprehension passages. Because if they ask you where, you should be able to look at the what, at the adverb that is there to signify the what, the answer. Let's drive down a bit further. They walked across the field. We also have adverb of movement and direction. There are also adverbs of place that end in word or words that describe movement in particular directions, such as homewards, backward, forward, or onward. While quite similar to adverb of direction we looked at already, this one actually had a sense of continual movement along that direction. That's why we also call it adverb of movement and direction. For example, we headed eastward. The people all gazed upward at the meteor shower. You should always go forward in life. This describes metaphorical rather than what physical. You can say somebody can pray, you will go forward in life in Jesus' name. So, in each instance, the word can include s or not. They are interchangeably. So, whichever sounds better, you use it. So, you use whichever you feel. You can say eastward or eastward, upwards or upward. So, take note of that. Let's talk about the difference between toward or towards. Toward or towards, while very similar to the above, is actually a preposition. It cannot stand alone as an adverb. Please take note. It is not, why it sounds like eastward, forward. It's so different. This one is a preposition. So, and when we get to preposition, if you look through the page to YouTube channel, you see the video on preposition. You will know that we use preposition as a link between a noun and another noun or another adjective or another part of speech. So, toward or towards cannot stand alone. It must be followed by a noun to create a word, a prepositional phrase. By the time it then creates a prepositional phrase, altogether that prepositional phrase can then now function adverbially to now describe movement. Look at the example. I saw them coming toward me. Toward alone is a preposition, but when you now have toward me in bold, it's now talking about what? Talking about movement. He walked toward the car. So if you say, where did he walk to? Toward the car. So that towards the car now is now an adverbial phrase of what? Of place. Do you understand? So it's now a phrase showing what? Showing place. Also note that while toward without an S is more common in American English, towards with an S is more common in the British English. So please take note of that. What about adverbs of location? These adverbs all indicate the location of someone or something in relation to someone or something else. They can each function either as adverbs in which they can actually stand alone, or as preposition in which is followed by another noun to form adverbial prepositional phrase, and they include behind, inside, outside, next to. Let's look at them as an adverb. We were waiting outside. That's an adverb standing alone. Where were we waiting? Outside. I kicked the ball all around. Where did you kick the ball? Around. The others started lagging behind. But as preposition, you have to attach it to a noun. We were waiting outside his office. So if they now underline outside his office and they ask you, tell us about outside his office, you will say that it is what? You will say that it is a prepositional phrase that is telling us the place that we were waiting. I kicked the ball around the field. Around the field is now a prepositional adverbial phrase. The others started lagging behind us. Do you understand? That's a prepositional phrase, but it's still showing us the what? The place that that action happened. Adverb. Let's take a look at adverbs of movement and location. I think just as words that we've already indicated above that we use it for movement and location, we also have other adverbs of place that can be used to indicate both movement and location. They include indoors, inside, outside, outdoors, uphill, downhill, abroad. Here are some sentences where these are used to describe both movement and location. Here are some sentences where these are used to describe both movement and location. Our mother told us to go play outside for a while. I absolutely hate running uphill. They are thinking of going abroad for their vacation. Note that depending on the verb they are modifying, some of these may only describe location. For instance, I am living abroad. I like camping outside. That denotes location. But the examples above, those ones denote location as well as what? Movement. Alright. Let's talk about unspecified location or direction. We also have some adverbs. Everywhere, somewhere, anywhere, and nowhere are also adverbs of place, and they describe locations or direction that are indefinite or unspecific. That's when we use them. For example, I looked everywhere for my book. I would like to go somewhere tropical for my birthday. Not specific. You are going nowhere. Is there anywhere to sit down? In less formal speech or writing, place can be used instead of where if it is not formal. For instance, you can say every place, some place, any place, and no place. Note that only the last of these two is made into two words. Yes, please take note. You can see that every place is written together, some place written together, any place written together, but only no place has space. Take note of that. Let's talk about here and there. Here and there are adverbs of place that relate specifically to the speaker. Here indicates a location or direction that is with, towards, or near the speaker. It's talking about proximity to the speaker. While there indicates location or direction that is away from, not near to the speaker. For example, I put my book there, that is far from where you are. Yes, you can sit here, maybe beside you. Let's go there for our trip. Turn here, please. And as we mentioned earlier in this section, I told you that it is only here and there that can actually be at the beginning of the sentence. And when we use this, it means we use it to emphasize the location they are describing or to create exclamations. For instance, there is the restaurant we are looking for. Here I am. It may seem like there in the first sentence is functioning as the subject of the verb is, but it is actually functioning as an adverb. Please take note. In this construction, the subject, the restaurant, is inverted with the verb is. So take note of that. Lastly, here and there can also be combined. Lastly, here and there are also often combined with prepositions to create more specific references to location. Note that because they are the objects of prepositions, they are functioning as nouns in this case rather than adverbs. For example, please put the table over there. Why are the keys up here? Don't put your muddy boots on there. It's rather hot in here. So we have finally come to the end of adverb of place. Let's see if we can get some questions to practice with. What are generally not modified by adverbs of place? Is it verbs, adverbs, adjectives? Is it B and C? Is it E, A and C? What is the answer? The answer is actually B and C. We mostly use adverb of place to talk about only verb alone. It doesn't modify adverb and adjective. Number 2, if an adverb of place is modifying an intransitive verb, where is it usually located in a sentence? Is it immediately before the verb it modifies, immediately after the verb it modifies, immediately after the object of the verb? What is the answer? The answer is B. Immediately after the verb it modifies. Immediately after a verb it modifies. He walked northward or southward. Which of the following adverb of place is used to describe both movement and direction? The answer is what? Onwards, option C. Identify the adverb of place in the following sentence. Hastily he fell silent and withdrew into his study. What is the answer? The answer is into his study. Into his study. Number 5. Which of the following is an adverb of place? Abroad, resoundingly, very, or generally? The answer is abroad. Number 6. Which of the following is not an adverb of place? East, out, toward. Quiet. East, out, toward, upward. The answer is what? Out. So we have come to the end of this lesson on adverbs of place. I trust that you got value from this lesson. I want you to drop your sentence examples that you've used to practice, and don't forget to like this lesson, share this lesson to someone you feel might be interested, and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel for more valuable lessons. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.